turn his gaze to Ronan and go, "You seem very comfortable at the moment."
And before you can respond, Ronan, our camera turns immediately to our beloved burb. Pilakka, you're in the bazaar.
Yes.
You've been meandering about for some time, and you have finally encountered someone that happens to fit what it is that you're after. Tell me a bit about this person. What are they like? What do they have and specialize in? And why are they important to you? What did they come to you for?
What did they come to me for?
Yeah, when they sought you out in the mainlands, in Western Galarian.
Oh, this person.
I hope that's not what they sought you out for.
Were you saying I was supposed to create somebody from my past? I thought I was trying to remember somebody who I had met.
Yes, both actually. You're creating this person while simultaneously having met them. Just like how we did with Cade. If you remember the last time we played with Cade. Cade was made up on the spot in that moment. So this is a person that sought you out in the mainland, and they were willing to overpay you for a service that they felt that you were best suited to handle.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so what do you think? Jared, your thing is queuing quite loud.
Sorry, my...
It's okay.
It is a gnome.
A gnome.
With a sort of like a balding head, but like wild frizzy hair.
Okay.
Coming, sticking out in all directions. It's maybe purple colored hair.
All right.
Or perhaps green. Whatever suits your fancy.
We'll go with purple.
There you go. With a sort of shifting eyes, always as though he's being watched. And his short, nubbly hands are well worn, almost blackened with use in experimentation.
Okay.
He wears probably light, but otherwise not too expensive, not too fancy, relatively no frills clothing. Something suitable for the heat.
So like artisan's clothes, essentially? Not necessarily like aristocrat, but more like businessman?
Like a light robe.
Light robes, all right.
Yeah, really just nothing fancy, nothing that stands out. Probably undyed.
Okay.
Whatever the natural color is.
Got it.
Why am I picturing like a starter level 1 warlock gnome?
Yeah, pretty much.
Stay safe, will die.
Yeah,
Stay safe, will die.
Probably killed this guy 1,000 times in Stranglethorn.
Yeah. Tell me about this gnome's name. What is it? Is it traditional gnomish like Blimey Coxfeather or something totally different?
No, that's me. I'm Blimey Coxfeather.
Beagle Frimp Poodle Fuzz.
Let's slow that down a little bit. It's Beagle?
Beagle Frimp.
Beagle Frimp.
Poodle Fuzz.
Poodle
Have
Fuzz.
to write this down.
Got it. Beagle Frimp Poodle Fuzz.
It's what I got. I have to own it.
Okay.
I'm sticking with it.
Beagle Frimp Poodle Fuzz. You sought this person out only by mistake. The merchant in the mainlands before you found your own way. He came to you seeking what exactly?
Hallucinogenics.
Okay. Did he tell you why he wanted hallucinogenics?
He believed that his next great scientific discovery, or perhaps alchemical discovery, lied on the other end of a spiritual experience.
Okay. You find Beagle Frimp Poodle Fuzz, the gnome, his hair ever wild and frizzy. in the middle of the bazaar, the market district. He has a smaller stall, mind you, but it is no less interesting. The things that he peddles is not normal to this locale. One would almost assume that it is more akin to what you would say a spiritual or voodoo-like adventure. He has various reagents that can't be found in this location for certain. Now, in your situation, he would be valuable here, as he has acquired many different things. You spot him immediately, and for some reason, you happen to recall him. He piqued your interest, if not for even just briefly. You may not even remember his name entirely. Do you approach him?
Yeah, immediately based on the on what he's hawking. Pilakka would be right over there, like immediately just sort of like picking and looking at and like sniffing ingredients.
Okay. You can see that he seems to be restocking a shelf filled with glass vials, each vial having various different animal nails. Bear nail, dog nail, cat nail, basilisk nail. Just heaps of them. Why? Because you never know what you need and when you need it. He sees you, his eye kind of going wild like yours, one almost seeming to remain still. Perhaps that's just the thing that reminded you of him. Beaglefrimp only had one eye, and he wore a marble in the place of the other. His one wild eye looks up to you. Fresh stock, all in.
What are the sources of your wares? Very exotic things to be found here.
Do you actually want to know?
Yes, I asked.
The source is straight from the beast itself.
There aren't basilisks around here, I thought.
Some from the western lands, yes.
And what do you typically use basilisk nail for?
An aphrodisiac? Men with issues in their nether regions.
Indeed. And what have you that is more spiritual or magical or toxic or explosive or hallucinogenic or mind controlling or...
You just described my entire stock. Is there something in particular that you're looking for?
Anything to do with illusion. Some herb to trick the mind.
Yes. I have just the thing. I acquired from a bird woman in the mainlands. She hid in the woods. She told me many a great secret.
A bird woman. And just then Pilakka's disguise just for a moment flickers to her true self and then back to the human.
His wild eye that seems to be kind of focusing on all the details just hones in on you immediately, like fucking Sauron's eye. And when it does, his hands go up and he smacks the glass vial shelf. It rattles for a moment. People begin looking and he's like, Bitakk?
It is I.
What are you doing here?
Bringing back the dead.
Keep your voice down. They're very serious here about the dead.
Why?
Because they're dead, bird. They're dead, and they're not supposed to rise.
Says who?
At this point, you see him kind of like grab his hair and like muss it up. He says, all of them. None of them like the dead coming back. This, their god, Pharasma. They don't like it when the dead come back. They're supposed to stay there. They hang out in a place called the Boneyard.
That's awfully close-minded.
That's what I've said.
So, how do I know?
Yes, what?
How do I know you? Why do I know your face?
I came to you. It was 30, 40 years ago. Yeah.
Then. And you still have the wares I gave you. They must have been quite good.
Course, they're strong, very strong. I saw Pharasma's eyes. It's incredible.
Pilakka carries only the finest wares. Could I perhaps interest you in some dwarf eyes? Human eyes?
It's just go and come in, woman. And quickly pulls you into the tent and lowers a single cord that drops a flap. Starts to walk away from you in this like slight hobble. You can't say that. Yeah, you can't say
yes,
that.
very, very good point. If someone overhears, they might try to undercut me. I don't know what the eyeball market is like around here.
It's not. It's me. It's me. I am the market here.
So how much for the eyes? Eye 6.
Just dwarf eyes.
I haven't. They've barely even seen much. They were hardly 4 decades old. Practically babes, brand new.
Yeah, that's not very long. Yes, it's true. What are you asking?
1 silver apiece.
Sold. I'll buy them. Yes. But are you
very
searching for something yourself?
Ah, yes, indeed. I seem to have made something of a home of my current lodgings, and I doubt the proprietor should enjoy this should he find out. I must disguise it. Something to trick the mind.
Do you need consistent something everlasting, or do you hope to poison him? Would you like him dead?
That might be tricky. Perhaps one of my cohorts could pull it off, but I was thinking something to mark the door that would instead trigger a spell of illusion for any who walk through.
Yes, I think there's something that I can make.
I know of such an herb, but it is fleeting. Leaf or vine or flower, mushroom.
Yes, let's say that I might have just exactly what you're looking for. You would have to have your target ingested.
Not the herb I was thinking of then, but if I must, then I must.
For as long as your the domicile remains, he would probably believe. I say probably with a strong, probably like 70% belief that it is as you had intended it to be seen.
Well, 70% is better than present circumstances.
What would you be willing to pay for that if I came up with it?
6 silver.
That's very. Suppose you couldn't. Can you double it?
Very well. Agreeable.
And you bring more eyes and other strange things. I can't acquire myself, and I would be happy to continue dealing with you, Miss Bitakk.
Then consider us having an accord. One moment, please. And then Pilakka just flops down her pack and just starts rifling through to see any other crap I've collected. And I will... she'll pull out... Bonafide ghost scorpion venom. 1 vial full. Desert peacock feather. Ancient. From old times.
He's watching.
Scraps of leather.
Just marveling at the variety of things.
She's gonna pull out the magical the remnants of the tome dissolved by acid, maybe held in a bundle with like a cloth or something. And I should pay very well and provide even further better reagents. Should you tell me where I could find a place to restore this?
He looks at the scraps, the bits of remnants here, and you kind of see like his one eye focus in on the same magical spectrum, and you hear this like, it's very old, very, very, very old. Where's the rest of it?
Dissolved.
Do you have a stone of time turning?
Not handy.
Do you have a medallion to have you walk the past?
Also, no.
Then no, I do not. But if you acquire it, I happen to have some knowledge of peering through the veil and beyond a time before mine, and I could instruct you as to how. But the reagents are very, very particular, and time is strange, and you can't do much. If you do too much, you will change all of now, then, and later.
Very well. And how much for these lessons?
This is I did not prepare the faculties for this today. You have to ask me later.
Of course. But yes, you provide me with the knowledge I desire, I will provide you with whatever it is you desire.
Good. We have an agreement. Will you allow me to arcane bond you? And when I have information to you, you will feel a slight pinch from the bond. And when you need me, I will prepare for your arrival.
Very well.
He breaks out just a little bit of chalk, and he prepares a rune on a scrap of paper, and then he puts a slice on his hand and mars it in blood, and then passes it off to you. And in the past, this was something you probably taught beginning level initiates whenever you had to call upon them. It's just like a temporary tattoo that you apply to yourself.
And it's kind of like that little disc they give you outside Applebee's when you're waiting for your...
Exactly. That's exactly what it's like. Yeah. And he's expecting you to do the same. He's holding out his hands and wait.
Okay, I return the gesture.
Okay. And go ahead.
At the moment, the very moment that he mentioned that he knows how to do this, like look into the past, and offers to perhaps teach Pilakka how to do it, like her entire body just like ruffle, all of her feathers like ruffle in suddenly she's totally alert and like she's like woo. Okay. She gets a jolt.
Then you have finished as such. He will collect whatever it is that you're selling at a moderate price. He never really overcharges for much just because you never really know when it's going to... He could have some of these supplies and reagents for decades before they finally ever sell. So he's very moderate his prices. But maybe he needed eyes. Who knows? He's happy to pick them up.
All right.
Anything else that you wanted to seek out particularly?
Anything explosive, elusive, healing, mind-altering or controlling, hallucinogenic, corrosive, related to the Remjikal, or otherwise magical or even possibly cursed.
Okay, he actually does say that he has something for the hallucinogenics. He doesn't want to part with what you've given to him, but he has something particularly that he parted ways with a dark elf. They made a trade. At the time, they needed something to disguise their skin on the surface. And in trade, they offered Flecks of Myconid.
Flecks of Myconid.
Yeah, Myconid. In your knowledge, the Myconid are a people. They are also a mushroom. It is a fungus people.
Okay, and this is like their spores?
Equivalent, yeah.
Ooh. Is this like... It's like the spores of a guy right before he died, and he's like seeing the flashes of light,
akin
or something.
Yeah. Yes.
Ooh, something like that. Definitely interested. The universe always has more to say. when one is willing to listen. How much?
I've had these for probably 40 odd years since this person came to the surface. I would be happy to part ways with this for 1 gold, if that is fine with you.
Yes, 1 gold piece. Very well. Would you knock off 5 silver for the ghost venom?
I would knock off 2 silver, but only because I have it in such massing amount. I know one day someone will acquire the venom for purposes, but I have so much of it right now.
I keep my venom. 1 gold piece.
Very well, very well, very well. And he takes the piece and provides to you this small pouch. Under no circumstances should you ingest or inhale.
And then what do I do?
Lie down for a while.
Yes, very well. Thank you for your time, Beaglepuss.
It's Beagle. Just call me. Just call me Big Pooh.
Yes, very well, Frimpy.
Just play.
And Pilakka turns and exits.
Okay, with that, he'll retether up everything and go about his way. But you probably spent right around 40 minutes looking for anything that sort of seemed interesting, and there you made your connection. You made a positive tie here, and now you can call upon each other at any time.
Nice. This is a good find, this guy.
Yes. And it's gonna be a fun character, I think.
I like him. He's my kind of guy. He's like the first person I think we've met that's like on the same wave as on the same brainwave as Pilakka, same wavelength.
Just believes that everything can be used in and out of death.
Yes.
He sounds like Bilbo if he like went on a bunch of acid trips.
Yes, just my kind of guy.
Was Bilbo not on a bunch of acid?
Well,
did you see his fucking eyes?
There and never came back again.
Yeah. There and went further beyond.
By there, he means space.
That's exactly where, yes. Okay. Will you be going back to see your allies?
Not to see my allies, but I am going back. I want to hit these spores.
Oh.
I'm going to fuck up your room so goddamn bad.
You don't know that I said that.
Yeah,
it's out of character.
I'm drunk and fucking infatuated with your room.
Yeah, you may just do it incidentally anyway.
Now the 4 of you are together. It is now that Donkor has passed through, and he seems to be looking directly at Ronan. Remind me, what is it that you said to Ronan?
That he's looking very comfortable.
Ronan, he's speaking directly to you.
It's more of a question.
So, yeah.
Very comfortable at the moment, Ronan.
I'm like laying in the wine. Like, because it's not very deep. I'm kind of like back like this on the edge. Yeah, I'm living the dream. Laying in the wine. You should come join me. The dwarf, looks like the bird lady now. But, yeah.
I'm working on that part.
You can see Neferani just deep into reshaping and removing these feathers and adding this poultice-like salvy substance over the body of Abasi. Abasi, you can still speak.
But can he though?
Are they actually in Pilakka's room still?
No, the door has been shut at this point, and they're probably just outside of the room. But
I'm in the fountain.
Yeah,
in the wine. Abasi and them are probably like by the pillows.
Yeah, Neff had us close it, so we didn't go far, but
thankfully we're not
dealing with the dead bird.
You should go check out. You should go check out the room. The bird lady's room. Wait.
Oh,
no, we're not supposed to go in there.
No, you're
Oh
not.
my god! They're hanging dead bodies from the roof.
that wasn't even mostly intelligible to me as basically a storyteller. I got Rufa. not
They're
a bad-
hanging dead bodies from the roof. I think
I
the
understood
word I
it.
used in the accent was loof.
Yeah, that's what I got.
There's a loof. They're gonna come back and get you like once. Like that.
I want you to know that I understood that perfectly, and I was actually ready to respond.
You guys speak drunk
Fuck
way
yeah.
better than I do. Then
Yeah.
Scottish is easier to keep when you're pretending to be drunk.
I'm a good Christian boy.
Bullshit.
That's a lie.
White Claw Summer, let's go. Anyway.
What does Maury say? The lie. This says that is a lie.
yeah,
I encountered a dead Rick, Morty, Summer. Fuck, I can't remember the other two were. All 5 of them were dead in a horde village in WoW the other day.
oh
Nice.
Nice.
The greatest
Alright.
5-man I've ever seen.
And so you didn't go into the room. You did because you saw that.
Oh, we were. He was in the room. I loved it. I thought it was great. Personally, there's lots of blood. There's a big mushroom in the back. It was nice. Honestly, I'm jealous.
Stay a while and listen.
Why?
Why are you jealous?
Because it looks homey. Homey? Is that the word? Homely?
It's
not the word. I don't
Doesn't
know.
homely mean ugly?
Yeah, that means ugly. I
you're
don't know.
also not wrong about that.
I think it looks great.
Neferani, and is he drunk? He smells.
No, he's very, very, very sick.
With wine.
I think he's drunk.
Oh, we're both drunk. We're shit-faced.
Neferani,
Everything hurt and the goblin said go. What?
you listen to a goblin. Anyway, what exactly happened? I saw someone getting kicked down the stairs. The Farhan apparently has his eye hurt. What happened?
Am I taking this one or?
Do you want the long story or the longer story?
I just want a story. Doesn't matter how long or short it is. We have other things to attend to.
The goblin threw meat at me. It hit Farhan. And then I looked in the room and there was a bunch of meat in front of the bard. This is all true. It is true. I don't know how the meat got there, even if I
I don't know either.
but yeah,
That's a
okay,
blatant
that's
bluff.
a lie.
Like, you don't even have to roll. You just know. He's like, I don't know
Yeah.
either.
Well, no, I'm even gonna say that's a lie. But the meat was in front of the bard, and all I told Farhan was that the meat was in front of that bard. And that was the bard that was mean to me. He got kicked out. He started mouthing off to Farhan. That part was not my fault. Not my fault. I never told a lie here. And then he looked very distressed, and I thought it was the sickness, Bernie. So I started to immediately salve him. And the burb's room was open, and it has some scary shit in the. Yeah, I'm going with it. In there, it was very scary. So we shut the door, and now I'm almost to his private area, and I'm gonna stop now since he's just drunk and not hurt, and I'm gonna get Abasi's hand, and I'm gonna put the salve in it, and be like, "It's all you." And I'm done rubbing you down. You're welcome.
And then forehand threw the guy down the stairs. Did you see that?
I was down there. I was where he landed, and
Is it pretty sweet? Did he land on his face?
And you came down after and yelled at me.
I don't remember that.
See, now I've met people like him.
Yeah.
Anyway, I need you both to sober up. So, Abasi, do whatever you need to with your junk. Ronan, probably
Okay.
your face or whatever. We have to. Where's? Oh yeah, that's right. Pilakka went to go do whatever she does.
We could have asked her, but no.
Double for real, it's dead bodies in Pilakka's room. Birds mostly.
That's honestly, I've seen her pluck eyeballs from dead bodies. That's
No, but it's hanging from the roof
Yeah,
and
I mean,
spilling
it
blood
was-
in circles.
Gross. I'm gonna aside to like kind of like lean like it was gross, but let's be honest. I agree with you. We've seen that bird do some weird stuff. I don't feel like it's out of the ordinary, but it wasn't great. But I'm not like, oh my gosh, I'm so it was Pilakka just doing Pilakka things.
I'm pretty sure there's also merchants that I've dealt with that have sold very interesting things that I would rather not discuss with. On a more serious note, please do sober up and soon, so that way we can.
Wait, how
discuss
many
this.
cheese merchants do you know? Offhand.
Probably, I don't know, 1 or 2, but that's just an offhand guess.
Do you want?
I could sober up. It's the thing I could do, but I don't have any clothes or armor anymore.
Yes, I have all that. I have all that for
Everything
you.
hurts.
Continue with whatever this ointment is. Is this what we got for the mausoleum?
Yes. I put it on the upper regions.
So continue this. This will heal you, and by the time you sober up, you should be fine. And I have clothes for you. I bought you
I
clothes.
do like clothes. And he just goes about fucking rubbing himself.
You gotta get lower. But can you do that part like
Laura, got you. And he just starts
Can you-
pouring some of the salve in his diaper.
You know, that wouldn't be the strangest thing we've seen.
I'm not uncomfortable.
Nah, listen, I
Oh,
wasn't.
not comfortable either.
Listen, I think the least comfortable person is the one who's now apparently drunk, burning, probably, still. Yeah, I think we can count our blessings here.
It's the worst case scenario.
I'm never gonna scrub that out.
Yeah, that one's burnt in there.
Hi hat.
No.
So that one just that's we're done. Show's over.
Yeah.
Back it up.
This isn't a problem, forehead.
Oh my fucking god.
We got 5 head power here now.
This is
God.
too IQ place.
Big brain.
Oh no.
Perfect.
With big brain and naked.
So as soon as Pilakka gets back, she's probably not going to get him, but Ronan, you need to sober up most of all. Abasi, you could just continue healing up, but Ronan, definitely you.
So I'm not drinking any more wine.
No, you're not.
But are you drinking more wine?
No, I'm
Is
not
she drinking
No.
more wine?
drinking more
Maybe
wine.
later, Ronan.
Fine. I stomp off and finally look for like something to dry off with.
The only thing that really was left dried was maybe 3 of the pillows that weren't immediately destroyed.
So I lay down the pillows all next to each other and I just roll
Like a
on
dog
top
over
of
the
them.
pillow.
He's a fucking.
Oh my god.
He's a dog.
I'm gonna look at Donkor and then look at Ronan and look at Abasi and then look at not Ronan and then Donkor and then basically look at the 2 drunkards and then look at Donkor. Next time I get to drink.
Of course. But why not drink now?
Because we have to talk.
As he's rolling around the room, just see a little goblin body just rolling in all areas. Why not drink now? Arms up. Perfect. Abasi, do you head off to the private room to do your thing, or do you stay here and just kind of finish up?
I'm drunk, and he said we have to talk.
Okay.
So I assume this means that I'm not allowed to go anywhere.
Okay.
And therefore
don't-
must continue my business.
All right. You're
also
being
don't
as
think you
discreet as
understand.
possible. I mean, you're still wearing the
Just
diaper.
shit. Yeah, he's just out of it, like, where's sober? Got it. In the lower regions, on it.
So you just see like the hands disappearing into the diaper on all sides, just kind of like half scrubbing the body.
Oh god, Abasi used to be such a cool character.
This is like his this is bottom of the bottle moment. It's okay.
Yeah.
He'll bounce back.
He's looking up at rock bottom right now.
Yeah. I'll climb to you, you son of a bitch. I'll find you yet. So, a few moments pass. The awkwardness is still lingering in the room, but you can tell Abasi is finished with the salve. Ronan has mostly dried himself off. You can see that the tension still lingers over Neferani, but you have the floor and the open air.
How sober are the both of you now that a moment's passed?
Yeah.
That's as sober as he's gonna get, Ronan. How valuable were you to this dickhead person?
Wait, what?
How valuable were you to this dickhead person? The story you told us when we first met.
Oh, God, I'm not sober enough for this.
Well, we have to talk about it, and now.
Can I take one more sip?
No. You can take a sip after, depending on what happens next.
And cheese?
No.
Despite his jovial candor, you can see that it has certainly sent a wave up his skin. There's just something about his smile that doesn't really actually look like much in the way of happiness, that he's kind of finding a way to step away from that moment. But when you say dickhead, it's just like, in that moment, subconsciously his fingers like gripped up. Looking for anything to sort of relieve that stress.
Donkor is probably very aware of this, but understanding that more often than not, most people who are trying to find a way out of it are looking to escape it completely. So,
unfortunately, this doesn't just apply to you. This applies to the rest of our group and everyone in this tavern now that has seen you. I need to ask you again. How valuable were you?
Well, let's put it this way. I was one of his best fighters, and I won him lots of gold, and he didn't give me anything. And I killed a lot of people for a lot of nothing. Is that good?
Would you say you're worth about 1,000 gold to him?
I'm not good with money, so maybe, yes.
Well, think about it this way. 1,000 gold to you is probably a lifetime's worth of cheese if you don't eat it all in one day. Knowing you probably would.
Well, I don't think there's enough cheese for that, but... And you're asking this because...
Donkor is going to take the wanted poster out of his pocket and then just throw it in front of Ronan.
Jared, your mic.
Oh, sorry. It's when the AC unit turns on.
Yeah. You reveal the poster to everyone. Donkor.
You have a wanted poster for you now. A rivaling tavern. That means Dickhead is in this town. And it's from a named family. One that, on top of all the other problems that we currently have, like Abasi half dying, and, well, whatever is after Pilakka, and I can go on. There's no need to.
Wait. So that thing says that he's here, or he just wants to find me and he's not here?
More than likely, that post is telling us that he's here. As much as I can probably sense that you'd want to kill him, we're not about to do it in the middle of a town.
Ronan just immediately runs in the other room and like hides under the bed.
You immediately see him sprint into the room that he's been staying with Neferani, and he hits the lip of the bed, but it doesn't quite stop him in a way that you can see his feet kind of kick across the ground, and he dives under the feathered mattress, and you can kind of see the roving lump underneath, much like you would expect over Pilakka's body.
And for someone who's killed a lot, he's definitely scared of this person, and that's what I needed to know.
You can't make me go back!
You hear the muffled screams from the mattress itself. This is the first any of you have actually seen him fall away in fear from anything, or anger, whatever it is he's been driven into hiding.
I might be a little drunk. This is seeming awfully familiar. You're not actually gonna sell him, are you?
Considering the fact that I could have sold you for 500 gold, and
And you didn't, and that's why I'm asking.
Well, that's why I'm bringing it to all of you. If you want my honest opinion, I could right now without anyone knowing. But that's why I'm speaking to all of you. Quite frankly, I like the little one. Even though he's probably going to cost me more gold than he cost. Well, he did make the other one 1,000. I could probably spend. Anyway, listen.
I don't know them all, but I can tell that out all of the lovely, and I do on some level care for each and every one of you. But he hits harder than all of us. Maybe combined.
Here's the thing. Do we add another enemy to our list? Or do we find a way to buy him?
I don't think you want to fight him.
Head pokes out briefly, and you can see it open up like Pac-Man's head and screech that before it retreats quickly back under the mattress.
That's a funny thought.
Well, a good question you got to ask yourself is it even looking to sell the goblin, or is that just a reward to find out where he is?
It's probably a reward to have him back. You don't put 1,000 gold for information. Anyone could say, I saw a goblin, and then lead him to the nearest forest.
Well, it's not that. I was just more a little worried. If he's only to pay $1,000 to find the goblin, he might want 10,000 gold for the goblin, and I've always seen that kind of money on us.
I hardly understand anything you just said, but what I can say is I can tell you that if someone's willing to pay 1,000 gold for anyone, much like how your father was willing to pay 1,000 or 500 gold for you, it's more than likely to either have them delivered to them alive or dead. There's no in between.
Oh, if I'm dead, he'll kill you.
He wouldn't even know we had you in the first place, so don't worry about that.
I'm not leaving.
It's just like in the background, you'll never be rid of me! Never! Shit!
What does
I
Nev
don't-
think of this?
I don't know. Neff, I'm for keeping the goblin. I don't. You're the leader.
He is our friend. And we accepted him into this group.
Spent a lot of money on him.
I'll stop drinking mostly in the afternoon.
You shouldn't have to change who you are. We brought you here knowing of your proclivities.
Not really, no.
It's a big
Deal.
word. Well, we assumed he had proclivities. We all have, yeah.
Well, I saw
I
him
don't know what
percolate
happened.
in that chest, but I don't think that's the time.
I had my proclivity checked one time by him. It wasn't fun.
Each time he pops up from under the mattress, his head is at a different angle. Each time, just slowly eking out.
Listen, the way that I see it, this is an investment. We have people after us. We could.
Let's be real. There's probably people after all of us. Well, not
Sorry.
me.
No,
Oh no, I can label them for the most part.
Nobody's really after me. That's why I'm trying to save my own ass here. And I spent, realistically, we spent a lot of money on him. The
We should
damaged
just move.
floorboard,
Can we move?
the damaged floorboard, the now probably damaged door that once Farhan calms down, he's probably going to make us pay for.
Actually, he's got a point. We're not exactly very well sequestered away in this hole with holes in the roof place.
Do we
Everybody knows where we are.
But Farhan has kept us safe.
Only
Mostly.
Only because we've paid him off so far. Until someone comes with a bounty of 1,000 gold and says, well, here's enough money to pay for your information. He may be a man of his word. He may be an adventurer. But you're not dumb enough to he's not dumb enough to shy away from money.
Well, then give him more money. He knows what to do. You think we could sell that? What is it called? A charity? The wheelie thing in Achantebi's too. You know the one.
Yeah,
Are
so-
you like for the 17th time? How do we pull that out of the ground?
Well, wait. Let's fucking. Donkor said, I remember this is the craziest thing. Were they gonna open the second bar? And if they open another bar and we help pay for it, and then we go to that bar, they'll never find us in this bar.
I'm laughing because people have to work at that bar. If
Oh,
someone's going to
we're people.
Yes, let's just work at the bar that people are going to go to, looking for information as well when we're working there. And that
Well,
makes
it's not like anyone's gonna recognize me anymore. I'm barely a pomade.
They will as soon as that ordinance is done.
I would raise that perhaps we should wait for the burb because we're not all here. A.
Wait.
And B, we should wait for these two to sober up because we're not all here.
I run out and I grab at Cat Lady's clothing and pull on it.
Yes, dear.
What if so the bird lady can transform into an old lady and back, right?
Sort of.
What if the bird lady made me look like the drunk door? Can she do that?
No.
Any of us have ever tried, but no.
If she can't, maybe someone else can. The goblin has a decent idea. I mean, I don't mean to sound so surprised. I'm sorry. But
He is pretty drunk.
right. I'm just
I'm not trying to make another enemy, Ronan. I don't want to sell you again. You've cost me more money than I care to admit. But again, you are worth it to our party, and you are one of us now. As much as I wish to literally just sell you all, it's not what I do. I don't sell people. I sell leathers and trades and other merchandise.
You're the ones hoes anyway. You
are way too drunk.
was that common?
He loves us.
You need to go to bed.
But never look in his eyes. He can't stand it, but he actually likes us.
Can I get a fortitude save from Jared?
You have.
You got this.
Just waiting.
Underneath
he might be
AC.
drunk. He might be drunk.
My
in real
character
life.
sheet did not want to open that roll 20 shit, man.
Sometimes it doesn't.
Fort.
Oh,
That's really, really good.
He's
You have
got a
noticed
lot
that
of fortitude.
your skin has started to tingle, particularly on the areas where the skin is not nearly as dense. There are a few areas that anything. You're not really going to feel much on like the palms of your hands. You're going to feel much on the soles of your feet. You're probably going to feel some around like the bit of the neck, probably around like the inner thighs and the genitals.
I'm sure I'm feeling a lot in the places of the body that we're not specifically talking about because they're very sensitive.
There's some tingling. You've noticed it, and things have started to feel like a little airy. Not in the sense that you feel like you can fly, but everything just kind of feels like there are bits of light that are shining through that seems to sort of almost hurt your eyes. And you're not sure what it is, but it's...
Now I'm drunk and drugged.
You weren't feeling it before, but man, it's really bright in this room, and your skin is a little achy, but it's not what it quite was.
Well, not what it was, but we're not... it's good, it's bad.
The tussin is starting to seep into the pores.
Yeah, right? Oh, no! Mom said it would be bad.
Pilakka, when you step inside of the Tooth and Hookah, you can see that Farhan is minding his own business, but he still seems to be nursing an eye that seems to be crooked, tightly closed.
Join the club, pal.
Do you immediately head upstairs?
Yes.
Okay. You get up the stairs with whatever the time it takes for you in your age. The door is shut, but it's seemingly quiet, particularly for your allies.
I'm gonna drop my disguise, go to my room.
Okay. You open the door, and before you, there is wine and feathers. There are prints made of wine and ash all across the main room floor. And you can see that there is a significant amount of wine that has dropped down just in front of your door, even under the lip of the door itself.
Confine your debauchery to somewhere other than my spell circles.
Stop sacrificing birds in your room!
I'll do what I like. It's my room.
It's freaky!
Stay out of my room. You won't be
Both of
freaked.
you, stop yelling.
I liked your room.
Just gonna start making nondescript bird sounds.
You're a chicken or you're
I'm
not
better.
sure?
I'm better.
It's
only moments.
freaky, Bob. It's weird.
It takes only
This-
moments.
Ah!
Pilakka, before you go to your room, how much do you think the goblin is worth to us?
About 1,000 gold. I just magically know.
Been walking past tavern for a while, going, "Ooh, I could buy a lot with that."
I'm the witch. It's magic.
Well, then,
How much have we been offered?
it feels like you've been here.
It's the most meta D&D sentence that you can possibly. It feels like you've been here.
Let's just say if somebody offered me 1,000 gold for him, I would immediately take it.
You would take any one of our heads for considerably less.
Yeah.
Oh, certainly.
1 gold?
I'll pay you. Fuck it.
More than 1 gold. You guys can easily make that for me with a little bit of finagling and scheming.
Elbow grease.
Well, we can have another enemy on our back, or we can have somebody who could potentially fight for us.
And if they are offering money for him, perhaps he was good in the arena, and we could put him in the arena and make him make that money for us, and then some.
I go and grab my sword.
He seems eager.
Or he could just protect us and keep us alive so we don't die.
Whichever.
Oh, quick, he was down for slavery. That was.
The brightness is
That was a
increasing.
little jarring.
Oh, this is
Can I get a
wild.
perception from everybody else, please?
Why do you keep turning on more light?
Not from
No
Jared,
one's-
but from everyone else.
Man. As
Oh, wow.
usual.
Yeah, okay. Ronan, Neferani, Donkor, it's available to you. Pilakka, I set the DC at 10, pretty close. You can see that he's beginning to wince, and he wants to know why the room is getting so much brighter. He doesn't immediately notice it yet. Ronan, you're the first to see it, but his knees are starting to tremble. Like the muscle itself is starting to pull upward into his kneecap, and there's a small tremble in the knee.
Oh no, it's turning me into a gnome.
No mercy. No.
Oh no!
No mercy.
No.
I'm gonna go play Left 4 Dead now.
Oh, God.
This
Gotta
is where I
flip it.
get off.
Ronan, do you say anything to him, or do you just kind of accept it for what it is?
I go over and I pick him up, and I carry him to his room. Obviously, I set down my sword that I just grabbed.
Do you let him pick you up?
Drunk, and he just went down and tried to pick me. What? No, no! Fuck you!
You
Dwarf women!
need
Dwarf!
to lay down. You drank less than me, and you're more drunk.
I don't think I've ever seen
I don't know if you've ever been covered from head to toe in wounds and then laid in liquor.
You're weak. You need to go to bed.
I think you both need to go to bed.
I just drag him by his ankle.
General census is that I'm much more than likely not going to be able to sell you, Ronan, because the rest of the team would hate me for that. So, congratulations.
You want me to wait?
Thanks, as I drag him to the room.
Sorry to interrupt your romantic evening. I'll retire now.
Do you resist him from picking you up?
I'm certainly trying, but
He clearly is.
as you've stated, I'm weak. I'm weakening, and I'm drunk.
Sure. And as much as you do fight back from it, the moment that your body hits the bed, there is this certain relaxation that sort of overcomes you. When your muscles just give way and you're no longer standing, you feel like the coolness. It's sort of like that Vicks Vapor Rub smell, that menthol feeling over your entire body.
I feel like everybody knows that feeling of like it's been busy, it's shit, and you've just finally like sat down or laid down for the first time. Oh, I'm never moving again. Never.
Did you rump and gay everywhere and then told you to pour it on your genital region and then you dumped it on your genital region?
I poured it into my diaper. I'm feeling good.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just lotioned up your balls with Bengay. That's not good.
It's going to be a bad nightmare.
Yeah. You're in for a bad trip.
Do not let
Hopefully
your
it's
children
just-
watch the show. Or do.
Ma'am! More Bengay!
And don't put your balls in Bengay.
Ever. Or icy hot?
Or
any
even on your
combination of
legs. On the inside of your
I
legs.
can tell you from experience, that's a bad idea.
I always think of the 4chan copy pasta.
I think of Zach and Mary make a porno and the little packets that are supposed to warm up your hands in cold weather.
Oh, God.
And how he goes, I'm just gonna
Yeah. Yeah, this is fine. This is fine.
Nice.
Does anybody else retire for the day now that you've had this wild turnabout with alcohol and meetings of new people, plus someone seeking out an ally?
Pilakka does immediately, yeah.
Okay.
No, Donkor's probably just gonna finally sit down in the mess and just think about the day.
This is kind of like and It's Always Sunny when they walk in and Dee and Charlie are trying to eat the kid and Dennis is like, what's going on here? No, you know what? I don't give a shit about any of this. And he just...
Yeah.
That's where Pilakka's at right now.
I feel that.
I honestly feel like we live in a fraternity.
A little bit. This is some intense hazing that we just did on a musician.
Hey, he was mean to me.
So he got hazed.
Definitely a fraternity now.
Homework. Everyone has to go and watch that VOD.
Yeah, apparently.
He was so
With some
mean.
beef.
So I fucking broke him and got him fired.
Okay, no, all I did was point out that he had beef in front of him.
Oh, she pulled a Karen. You went and spoke to the manager.
The manager, no, first of all, who said that? Because you're fucking dead to me. Or the Karen. I'm not even wearing that haircut. Thirdly, he was very mean.
He was.
It's Neferani.
And as we all know, being rude
I was
is
there.
100% an okay to just ruin somebody's entire
Okay, so I
Yeah,
had
get
no
thrown
idea
down a flight of stairs. Fuck him.
ruined, right? Fuck him.
moment.
I don't know.
Okay.
Did
I
you
wanna know-
fire that fucking check stand asshole for not bagging my Cheerios right?
I want to note that I tuck him in, and then I lay at the other end of the bed with my feet like in his face, and then I pass out.
Okay.
I thought he was going to give me a forehead kiss, but instead I'm just getting a fucking goblin ankle.
Do you want goblin slobber on your face? Because like I don't really have a lot of control over this when I'm
There is,
drinking.
bear in mind, there is another bed.
No, I lay in
That
the same
room.
bed.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
It's Ronan.
The Neff.
Like
it looks
the
it's-
strength of dragging him and fighting him to the room.
Yeah.
I'm done.
It looks like it's really just you and Donkor awake at this point.
Only member of our team who can pick me up.
Do you have any conversation since it's just the two of you, sobered and with no goals other than, I suppose, to stay alive? It doesn't seem that way. It looks like it's
Awkward
quiet.
silence for
Yeah.
4 hours.
Yeah.
Who? What was that? Was that to me?
No,
No,
it
that
it
was
to
the-
Neff and Donkor.
Sorry.
No,
If
it's
I
fine.
talk to him, we're gonna talk about things I don't want to talk about,
Sure,
and
that
I'm
makes
just
sense.
gonna kind of be like,
Okay. Do you retire for the early day to your room?
yes.
Okay.
Right.
Donkor, it's kind of just you now.
And then more than likely at this point, Donkor is probably just gonna wonder in his head whether or not a lot of this adventure, like he's checkbooking right now. He's looking through his checkbook and trying to see his bank account, how much it's gone up, how much it's go down. He's budgeting in his head, and then he's like trying to create a plan of how he's going to figure out a reasonable way to keep Ronan, even though right now it just doesn't seem like it.
Okay. Then maybe after a solid rest, you'll find that it's a benefit with your allies sobered, less angry, and more willing to speak.
Always running the stocks and bonds in his head about how Ronan is basically their pet dog and the kids want him, but he just can't afford to feed him anymore.
He's certainly valuing things, right?
Wow.
You spoke to everyone about the virility of having Abasi around. 500 gold's a lot of gold. That was nothing to shirk off, so it took you time to sort of weigh your options of having... Is it worth having him around? Is it worth having that kind of attention from another Palmet and his group? But weighed and measured, you decided to keep him.
Yeah, I think what a lot of it comes down to is nobody really knows like the mind of like a merchant here. Everybody's like the fraternity. Yeah, we can get drinks this month. Let's go.
We got enough money for beer.
Right?
And he said they're going, we can't pay for power or internet or anything.
Yeah, and that's almost like what's going on. It's he doesn't really want to part with any of his friends.
Sure.
But he also doesn't have the same attachment just to people in general.
Okay.
What else though?
Eventually finishing your balances, your checkbook of sorts, of the value
Probably.
of your crew.
He'll probably just fall asleep there, realizing that Ronan and Abasi are in the other room,
Yeah.
still asleep and drunk.
Bear in mind,
And
there's still an open room.
Oh, I forgot about that.
The one we never use.
Open
Yeah.
bed
We're
and an open
saving
room.
it for her.
Yeah.
Then Donkor will actually go into that room.
Okay. It's nice to finally have amenities that are available to you that don't quite reek of meat and sweat and stagnance and shame. You find yourself to a very large bed with a small sort of porthole for a window. A micro table that has 3 pillows sitting around it and what looks to be a chest against the wall to collect personal things. No one's been here in a long time, but the bed has never been made since Jamara has left. It's a weird feeling, but again, it is nice to be involved only within silence.
But during a lot of this time, like he would have more than likely been like shed with a shred of guilt almost, because part of it was he was going to, before a literal hurricane of events happened, actually look for Jamara and figure out what's going on, even though that's still on his list. It's no longer his priority.
Okay. Everyone is retired to their rooms, some sleeping, some peering over the mess that was left for them, others holding in feelings that they didn't want to feel. The fears of your past creeping upon you, the recent past reclaiming you, the burns from the current sweeping over you in swaths of pain, the value of missed opportunities. Everyone has their own feelings, some more involved than others. But it is still relatively early in the evening. It's very rare that you have an opportunity to sort of reflect, to catch an early night. You spent many nights exhausted, pushed to your resource limits before you fell into a slumber, just to be woken again by something else. Someone else. Now here, in your sleeping state, Abasi, you are woken.
Uh-oh.
It's not jarring, mind you, but it is something. Before you passed out, you felt the presence at your feet. Your goblin friend, just tearing at the maw of his own snoring gait over and over again. How you slept through it is beyond you, but now you feel another presence peering down upon you. It's that feeling when you're walking alone and the sun is down and you know that someone is watching you. It's like a veil, a blanket, a weighted blanket draped over shoulder.
When he dragged me away, I should have still been armed. Where is my weapon?
Your weapon is in the room.
Is it within reach?
It's probably 10 feet away across the half table.
This is less than good. Abasi is used to things happening in this room. In fact, one of the last things he said before falling asleep was, maybe we should fucking not stay here anymore. So I can still feel that I'm with Ronan.
Yeah.
So he's still here. Nothing has happened, but it feels like somebody is there.
Yeah, you peer down at your feet. It hurts to move. But every time you feel your skin crack, the cooling takes effect. Whatever the salve is, may prove to be quite useful. But you peer down and you can see there he is. His jaw seems to be tucked, but he's not moving. He lays limp and lifeless. There is no sound coming from him. Moonlight pours in over the top of you. It cascades in a lattice effect. Low light at best. What do you do?
Try not to move too much and make myself obvious, but I want to like crack an eye and try and peer into the dark because I still feel like something's wrong.
Give me a stealth.
Ooh, that's gonna end badly. My character sheet stealth. Oh.
Okay. And give me a perception.
You get one reroll.
Yeah, but
true.
I don't think I'm gonna do much better on him.
The moonlight itself is playing tricks on your eyes. Even in your dark vision, peering around the room, the shapes seem a little distorted. Everything feels a trite bit odd, and you can't quite place it. Especially peering over at Donkor's bed. It seems as if Donkor is sitting on his bedside. Not quite asleep. But it's a silhouette of Donkor. But is it though? You winch your eye tightly closed again as you peer through the lashes. And when you glance back, Donkor is much larger. When did he get so tall?
I can't reach my weapon. The goblin's not making any sound. I have no reason to make a shit ton of sound myself, but this ain't right. I could be delirious and imagining all of this from the alcohol and the drugs, but I'm obviously not feeling too drunk anymore if everything hurts. The salve's doing its business, but this doesn't feel right. Then again, I have no idea what I was rubbed with. I know that it makes me feel good, but that things were really weird right before I went to bed. But something's not right. How much motion do I think I can get away with?
You're not sure. How much of it do you think you can stomach?
I'd say a decent amount. Abasi's about getting hit. He's always been about getting hit.
Okay. What would you like to try to do? Will you face
Some people's thing.
face this individual?
Some people are doing that.
Do you try to make a daring leap across the bed?
No, I can see the figure that is there.
You can.
I don't think that I'm more dexterous than most people. I'm a dwarf. My big claims here are that I can take decent hits and put out decent hits. So I am very slowly and obviously, while keeping my eyes on them, just going to start lifting myself to a sitting position to face them.
Okay.
Because if it is Donkor, I'll just talk to him. If it's not Donkor, this is the position I'd rather be in.
Give me a fortitude.
There we go. I'm gonna re-roll that one.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
He's
There
screwed.
It's better.
I don't want to be screwed.
It's better. It's still painful, but not so much so that it inhibits you. You feel the cracking over your back, several bits of skin seems to split, but then the coolness again. But you're able to contain the pain. Maybe a brief wince from your lips, which also ache. But when you sit on the edge of the bed, your vision clears. The person resting at the bedside. It's eerie now that things are starting to come clear. Their knees are higher than the bed itself. Their legs slender, just up past the kneecaps, which become a bit wider. Their arms unnaturally long, and you realize that you're peering at a woman.
Do I recognize them as one of the Amazons from the bar meeting?
You do not. This is not someone that you immediately recognize, but the sensation that you're being provided with is something a little otherworldly.
Oh, fuck.
I kind of wish you'd come to bed in this room, man. I kind of wish you were here.
You disturbed something from his room and it followed us in here.
Pilakka, come get your space ghost.
That ain't me.
You sit, your toes just hitting the floor. Your feet don't quite wrap to the ground. Do you say anything? Do you move to kind of rub your eyes? What do you do?
I'm going to kind of try and stretch out a little bit. I know it's going to hurt like hell, but if I have to move, I don't want to do it unprepared. And while I'm doing that, I want to like snake a hand back in the bed and try and like stealthily tap it.
Wait, the goblin?
The goblin, like
your other front line is with you?
You need to get the fuck up.
Sure.
And I'm just going to look up at them and kind of like adjust my eyes, but I'm not going to say anything yet.
When you stretch back, give me a fortitude.
Oh my, I'm going to die. All right, the character sheet's different.
Ooh. You stomach it yet again as you sit back and you sort of roll your shoulders and flex just over your left shoulder. You hear this audible snap like a... as the upper sheet of your shoulder cracks loudly enough for the entire room to hear it.
Are you peeling?
Yeah, man. In the worst way. A chemical burn peel.
Oh.
Oh.
You move your hand under the blanket itself and you feel it just under the goblin.
Grab his winky.
Where do you put your... I love how me and Kale
And I look up at them, I'm like, would you like some lemonade?
Look at my horse.
Your hand
It tastes just like raisins.
sliding back, you feel this
that's
weight
it.
under your hand. And before you can do anything, your eyes sort of hone and focus on the face of this person. And as they're leaned back, silhouetted, though your
Please don't
vision
be Akintepe.
is
Please don't be
still sort of distorted from the moonlight, as it begins to move inward, you see the muzzle and the snout of a wolf.
Oh, not Akintepe. Good.
Oh, worse.
And when
This
it
isn't
moves
any
in,
better.
it begins shrinking down. and you see a woman. She speaks to you.
So this is where you wake me up.
Pinch, 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 pinch.
You quickly pinch several times over, and there's nothing. No response.
Nothing. I
Not-
knew it.
No
God damn it.
noise.
She put you
at all.
out. Oh, shit.
This is a
And you hear
dream.
it.
Stay a while
Sleep.
and listen.
It's not necessary. He will not wake, my liar. I feel your pain. I know your pain.
I was very close to just hitting myself in the chest.
She looks very different. Now she has taken full shape. She is no longer this decaying, mummified Amazonian type woman. She is something, a true sight to behold.
So is she's morphed back into a person. She's not a wolf anymore? Or is she right up my face and wolfy?
It could have been a wolf. It could have just been the light, the shadows playing tricks on you.
I mean, that raises questions, because if I think I saw her as a wolf, then I'm starting to feel that, I don't know, maybe that conversation about you being with Lamashti might be a little more feasible.
See, I don't have to ask you if you say something in character, because when you're in character, you're full Scottish.
It's pretty obvious, yeah. No. There's some shit that I'd love to say, but at the same time, Abasi does not like her, is why I'm struggling right now. He's very angry at everything that she's doing, but he isn't.
She feels that. You don't have to say anything. She feels it.
Yeah, he's in a 0-point position to do anything, so he's just gonna eye her down, I guess.
Why
Because
do
if he
you
opens his
resent
mouth,
me?
he's gonna get killed.
Why do you resent me?
Do I resent you?
What have I done to beseech your ire?
Bossy's just gonna look up at her and go, "You sent me, a man who does not like the idea of the dead rising, an image of you resurrecting an army of the dead, and you wonder why I'm not cheering from the top section."
So you think it fair that someone devoted to their king and their pharaoh to be sent to their death because their pharaoh feared their success?
Abasi's just gonna smile. "You're in my head, I can tell. So you should have a slight inkling as to where I came from and what my current problems are. Well, I think if anybody could understand you, it's me."
I will separate this tie so that I cannot read your thoughts, so that I cannot feel what is this that you feel any longer. Yes, you have returned me, my liar, my thief, and yours. I am grateful, and I wish, yes, to return my army, the greatest that the sands of Osirian have ever kissed. And I will return them to their greatness, so that I may seek my revenge. Not upon you or yours. Nay, you deserve to be gifted. You've done such a great service to me. And I owe you and my thief more than most. I offered you no audience at first because I did not want to be seen that way. But now I come bearing gift and offering audience for your questions. She moves her hand over to the table. and a facade falls, a vision seems to dip, and there rests a piece of armor, cobalt blue, with an inlay of what looks to be a scarab. And green. You wish to protect yours as you've protected me, and I wish to protect you as you've done that for me. You no longer have to worry of your armor breaking. You no longer have to worry of your enemy's blades failing against you. This served me in my life, on the battlefield. It was not for me, it was for my wife. She was a pommet like you. This was gifted to me, but I saw no use for it. It needed to be given to someone to protect. Blades will break against this armor. And if damaged, it repairs itself. Do you turn down my gift, my liar?
Bossy will open and close his hands a few times, kind of just like testing the pain to make sure that he's understanding all of this properly and taking everything in and isn't still asleep.
Is it best in slot?
Dude, it's my pre-bits! Fuck you! Don't take this from me! But Abasi is Abasi. So he'll look at her and say, listen, fucking Pepe, I don't want to turn down your gifts. There are those more important than my pride who could benefit from such a gift. But, Plummet, do not lie. And you have to understand that if you raise that army, we will meet as enemies eventually. I did not want to fight you. I let you go and returned your things. Because this story is not mine. It's not for me. What happened to you, from what I've seen, regardless of possible crimes or not, is not okay. It does not side with how the Plummet do things. But I will not lie to you. If you give me this gift and you send me on my way, I'm going to do my damnedest to stop what comes next.
You said that Plummet do not lie. I know another truth. That the Plummet do lie. This is a story for a different time. But I saw inside of you the same. That a Plummet has lied. I only offer this to you as a gift, a thank you. You are not required to take it as such. And if you take this to be sold, to invest in the rest of your life, I will understand. I do not ask you to be at my side, but I make sure that those that have seen me free are taken care of, as my wife once were. Do not fear, it will shape to you. And we're not of my plans. Do you have anything that you'd like to ask of me?
Did she take your sword? Get the sword back.
It's like, do you have a sword to go with the
Can I get the set piece bonus at least?
Yeah, I need my 2-piece. Hello? She's trying to wife you. No.
It could be a poly relationship, you know?
You, me, and your dead wife.
I bring her back too. It would be great. I just need my sword.
But you've done me a service, Akentepe, and you've receive the truth, so I ask only the same. The reason that you were left in that tomb alive so many years ago, I've read the papers, and I ask that one simple question. Were you in league with Lamashti? Did you serve the godless monsters?
Quite the opposite. Lamashtu is one that I searched to destroy. I was a favored gift to the pharaoh from Sobek himself.
The crocodile turned you in?
The pharaoh feared for my successes. And when we conquered the nations of Osirian, he feared that my success would get to my head. He feared that I would succeed in slaying Lamashtu, and that I would ascend to become a god. So he sought my wife. He turned her against me. I was poisoned from my trust. They buried me alive, and I lie for days, screaming and clawing. But I could not be heard. I could not be found.
The words that you have spoken are true. And let's be honest, I have no reason to disbelieve you. Lying to me now doesn't do you any good. You could have killed me in my sleep. I have to afford you the same standard decencies that you've afforded me. But if this is true, I will find the truth. But I will not side with one who would raise more of the dead. Between you and the gods, that is not for me to decide. As far as I know, Pharasma's given up on me. But I will find out what has happened, and I will make sure that history marks it correct.
If Pharasma has given up on you, perhaps you should seek one of the Grave of Allah. Seek Sobek. He is fair, and he is just. And he will grant you the power you desire to save or conquer.
At least I have a starting point in order to verify the truth. I suppose I'll have to seek another god.
If you choose not to seek another god, perhaps you should be asking why she forsook you to begin with.
Well, that's a question I have asked myself every waking moment since my wife's eyes closed.
And now that the gods circle Wati, you'll have your chance to ask soon enough. Look for her agents. They'll know. They speak through her.
She begins to lean back as the light cascades back over her face, and as it begins to disappear, it elongates again into the muzzle of a wolf. In the heat of a flash, you see reddened eyes gleaming back at you, and she falls to blackened sand, to the bed of Donkor.
I just kind of like lean back and smack the back of the goblin.
Wow!
It's now that you actually hear the audible snap of your fingertips as it claps over his back.
See, I clapped those cheeks. People were asking for it, and I finally got one.
Definitely a hard top.
Colonel.
Good God.
Daddy, stop.
Dummy thick.
Dummy thick, and I clap in my ass cheeks, keep alerting the guards.
I deserve this.
Oh, sorry, that was the most serious Abasi's had to be, and it came out of fucking nowhere. I needed a little bit of a reprieve.
Drunk scarred Abasi.
So which cheek do you hit, or?
I'm just seeing if I can wake you up to make sure that reality is real again.
When you slap down upon his body, there is no snort or snarl that comes from him in an alert. Instead, your eyes open back up. And you're back in laying position. It may have been a dream. It may have been something more.
Is the armor laying on the table?
Yes, it is.
No sword. Feels bad.
Set bonus, dude.
Rip.
I'll get it one day.
That shit's never gonna fucking drop.
No, it's not.
Maybe we go.
You don't have enough DKP anyway.
Whoa, listen, okay, I pulled the whelps on accident. You gotta give me some of that back.
I rolled higher.
Left side.
asleep.
You'll notice that you hear
minus.
the snort and snarl from your ally at the end of the bed. Everything appears to have been normal. The moonlight still cascades to the lattice above.
And I hurt like hell, but the armor is still there.
Yeah.
So that's going to be like the last thing I see is just I look over and the armor is there and I'm like, oh, great. Just looked at Donkor's bed and then go back to sleep because I can't move very well right now and I need to heal more so than I did before.
You just lay there and think for a while.
Probably. I don't imagine he just falls back asleep. He just had a conversation with a pseudo deity.
You return back to your resting moments. Your eyes will flutter before you fall back into sleep. Morning will come swiftly, almost too much so. Luckily, exhaustion and pain allows you to rest through it. And you'll wake back up. Your skin actually doesn't hurt. It may be a little pink still. It's split and cracked in places, but your skin will no longer hurt. And you only notice this when you start to move and see that it's sort of, the salve is flaked away like what you would expect from scales. It sort of broke away much like you would expect from like a crocodile or even a dinosaur at this point.
And now I am 100% convinced after talking about Sobek that she did some shit to me to fix me before she left.
Potentially.
Lay on hands.
She did know that you suffered. She felt your pain. She felt your desires to want to protect.
Did she feel everything?
Did she feel the salve? Did she feel the diaper?
She did not.
He changed his diaper.
She doesn't know about the contents.
Wakes up in a new diaper going, what the fuck did she do to me last night?
She's the best mommy. There you go. She helped you.
Abasi's all now also just mad fucked up because he's like, well, thought she's pretty cool. Then I thought I was going to have to kill her. Now I don't know what the fuck is going on.
As you begin to move, Ronan, you will sort of startle awake, per se. You weren't expecting him to move much. It's been fairly restful.
Oh, God, what time is it?
Abasi's just ignoring him, stands beside the bed, running his hands over the armor.
What you got there?
Quite frankly, I have no idea, but I don't think I will ever be rid of this.
I tap on the armor and then I bite like the corner of it. Seems good quality.
When he bites into it, he has quite a vicious bite, as all goblins do. You notice that it mars the armor. It seems to leave a nick into it. And as he pulls away, it leaves a scrape, a scratch. And before you can even accost him and say anything about it, You see it relieve itself from the scratch and the nick as it seems to mend.
Well, that's new.
Abasi's just like, oh yeah, you're telling me?
So, you gonna wear that or?
No, I was gonna put it on the wall and just kind of hope and pray. Of course I'm gonna wear that! Did you see it?
I'm just asking.
It repaired itself faster than, and he just like flakes scales off. I did!
Did it come with anything else, like a set?
Like a weapon? Like a two-piece?
Yeah, maybe.
1000%, I will never give you a weapon of hers. In fact, if you somehow manage to kill her and collect her sword, wearing both at the same time will give you negative levels. That's the set bonus.
It was 100% worth it.
Another reduced cooldown on lay on hands or something.
Fuck yeah, I got my set bonus.
Just to say I had a set bonus.
But you're weak as shit. It doesn't matter. It's worth it.
So out of game, this was an item that was actually placed in by a viewer.
Oh, nice.
Thanks,
Awesome.
Runda.
It wasn't Runda. This was Crystallized Rose.
But I thought Rose wanted to see me dead.
Quite the opposite. She wants to see you succeed.
The tables have turned.
That doesn't sound like Rose. The tables have turned. No longer dead. Well, I don't know if my username is Hack is here, but
She's watching.
thank you. I said thank you to Runda because he said something about items at the beginning of the session. I am confused. Rose tries to kill me a lot.
It's because I try to tell people, like, hey, if you want to put items in the game, you should tell me on a day that isn't 3 minutes before our game.
Yeah, I fucking.
And so far, it's literally just been Crystal and like Prophet and Crundus. That's it. All of the others are like, oh, Bub, let's put my item in now. I'm like, dude, I started the game 5 minutes ago. Like, oh, shit, my bad. It's like, I told you this last week.
The best time to put a weapon in for next week is right now.
Yeah, right now, do it.
Time to wear a striped sweater.
Or right after, even. Or
Well, I mean, send a
You
message.
should always die in good armor. You right. So long as I leave a pretty corpse behind, I've done my job.
So it took me some time to work with her to write this in, but I know where I wanted to write it in. This is sort of the perfect element. So, continuing forward, you can go out and speak to your allies. I imagine that you will likely try to share this, as you will probably be equipping it, is my guess, right? You're going to equip it?
Yeah. I mean, I didn't have armor before, and now I have armor that heals when it's stabbed.
Yeah.
And underwear, and that's it.
That's my comment. Gonna talk or be like, you did get me pants, right?
I bought him clothes. It just has to sober up.
You can wake up everybody else as you see fit, but we will find out what happens on this day the next time we play.
Wow.
We're going to end tonight's session here, largely because I know that we still have to do our after show, our return, and then I know that some people need to get prepped for tomorrow's workload. So, next week we'll be starting at 8 o'clock again, and we'll have even more prepared for then. So let's do our rounds here. Make sure everybody tells everyone else that's watching where you're from and how they can find you. We will start with the big donk himself, Donkor. Tell us about you, buddy.
As my name is Tiny Penis, and you guys are now watching a Fortnite video. Today we're going to be doing 360.
I'm good. I didn't have water come out of my nose. That was you.
Like,
I can't even follow that.
I'm gonna start snatching wigs in a second. What the shit?
Hey, my name is Kaoiji. I play a variety of games here on Twitch. You guys can catch me here on Tuesdays. Yeah, that's really it. I do a lot of nothing most of the time. I just kind of play games. So hi, follow Bub, subscribe to Bub. That's about it.
Thanks, buddy. I appreciate that. Ronan, tell us about you, buddy. Where can we find you? What do you do?
I stream occasionally on
Pornhub.
I thought you were just going to leave that.
Everybody fell apart. Like, I streamed. Not this man.
on a channel with my name on it. Make sure you guys know that you can use your Amazon Primes and link it with your Twitch account. The sub to Bubbernaut, so you can give us free subs and rerolls.
It's true. Luck rerolls do go a very, very long way.
Next.
What do they do? They get bards in trouble.
You bet your ass. I was so hoping that you would have stuck with 12. He was gonna get a talking to, but nope. You buttered him right up. Pilakka.
A talking to. He got knocked the fuck out.
It wasn't even a talking. He just got punched. You just walked right in.
The bard still doesn't even know what happened. Nobody told him.
He had meat in front of him. That's all I said.
Yeah.
Pilakka.
You can find me in decreasing amounts on the internet. Sometimes I'm on Twitch nowadays. Now that Classic WoW is out, you can, if you're lucky, you can catch the Sneak Man himself. It's my rogue's name is Sneak Man, and maybe sometimes you can catch him fishing in Ashara.
It's like Pepsi Man except sneaky.
For squid.
Yeah, exactly. He's a mascot for sneaking.
Oh,
For sneaking around.
all right. Okay.
That's all I got. I don't have anything funny to say. Just follow me, support Bub. Show up and watch my Warcraft streams. Show up and watch Bub's D&D streams. Give us and everybody else here all of your money.
Yeah, that's
There you go.
a simple man with simple requirements.
That's all I ask.
You're basically just the fucking Hamburglar.
Rebel,
Show
rebel,
up.
Back into 8, making
Yeah.
sure you get that reference.
rebel. Neferani. Tell us about you. What are you doing? Where can we find you?
Oh, I don't know. Everything.
Good Lord.
Everything seems difficult. So you'll find me at TwitchCon this weekend, where I will be running from place to place like a chicken with her head cut off, who said, I'm not going to do anything this TwitchCon. So, but the most important thing to know right now is that y'all have like 20 minutes to sub to Bub for half off, or if you get a gift sub, to renew it for half off. And then you get 2 months for $2.50. That's a bargain at twice the price, my friends. Do it. Do it now before September ends, or I will squirt you in the face. And all it will do is ruin my nice camera.
Do you promise?
Don't make her do
damn
it.
Stop it. Stop
She'll
it.
do it.
Abasi, let's go quick. Tell us about you, because I don't want to even handle that comment there. Thank you, Ryu. Fuck.
Hi, I'm Abasi. I play a mage named Week who got to level 60 on Fairlina server on Classic, and that's where I am all the time. I'm also playing a lot of Greedfall and some other games whose names I've forgotten because a lot of shit was given to me recently, and I don't know what the fuck I'm supposed to do. So here we are at D&D. It's a good time. We'll be back next week to watch people probably die. I'm betting it's myself, as I
Okay.
appear to be pissing off a lot of gods.
Or making friends with them.
Making really good friends
God harem.
Just throwing
for
that out
that
there.
sword. For that set bonus.
All right, so
That's gonna be your
there are-
sword.
if there are any streamers out there, I'm replacing Ryu tonight. Like,
I would just like to point out before you ever consider replacing me, I think that I'm the first person who ever actually got someone to sub for you during her outro speech. So,
true enough.
Yeah, this
oh,
is
you're
true.
welcome.
Sure enough.
Next
It's
time-
you are not high on the list of people to cut. I'm just gonna say that. It's pretty much
Listen, if you're gonna replace Misty, just remember that she has to be worth at
I'm gonna be
least
at the
1,000
top every time.
it's just,
Always 1,000 gold.
of all 5 slots, it's just Ryu in every slot.
And I'm the temporary.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, you're. But can the replacement for Ryu be Ryu?
Yeah, we'll work on it. We'll work on it.
And here I was
If
hoping
we-
that I was one of them. Fuck. I gotta work on it.
How dare you?
If we cut Ryu, can we still sell Ronan?
Oh yeah.
That's something that we can work on.
He's gonna come in to play the character, but he's not allowed to be on camera.
Thank you guys for all the subs. Raksha, Junie, everybody that's coming in at this point.
It's
Glitch,
fun.
y'all are you're cute. You're cute. Just calm down. Thank you guys so much for watching tonight. I'm Bub, TheBubbernaut. This is my first tabletop game back in like almost 3 weeks. So it feels good. It was a good time. I had a very little amount of planning. In fact, my notes tonight were Akintepi visits Abasi and Decade plus Donkor. That's it. That's all I had planned.
Wait, can you repeat that?
Concourse a dickhead,
No.
and Abasi's dead.
Akintepi visits Abasi and Decade plus Donkor. Yep, that's all I wrote down. That was all of tonight's plans.
Equals Deconked.
Oh, God damn
Big
it.
cokehead.
Why?
Time for the post show.
Yeah.
I feel like we need to go out on like a theme song.
Adventure crew doing adventures and
Yep.
taking eyes.
Take it. Yep, perfect. All right, guys, that's going to be it for us tonight. We're going to go do that after show, and we will catch you, well, whenever you want to find us. Find all of their streams immediately. Go love on them because they deserve it, even if they choose not to stream regularly for some reason.
I'm just here.
I don't know what you're talking about.
So don't follow me.
Just the tip of dickhead. Someone give Pharmecius like like.
Perfect.
Make them farm on.
Like an easy clap.
Thank you guys for so much. I appreciate you. We'll see you tomorrow with Shackled City, episode 170.
Penis.
See you guys there. Peace.